Every single day, you make hundreds of decisions. Most of them seem small. Sleep 5 more minutes, or get out of bed, do the work, or make another excuse. Stay disciplined, or choose comfort. At first, these decisions feel insignificant. But here's what most people never realize. Your future isn't created by the biggest choices you make. It's created by the smallest choices you repeat. The Stoics understood this over 2,000 years ago. They knew that discipline isn't about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about becoming the kind of person who keeps moving, even when motivation disappears. And by the end of this video, you won't just understand discipline. You'll understand why it's the one skill that can completely change your life. The first lesson is understanding why motivation is your biggest trap. Most people spend their lives waiting to feel motivated. They tell themselves, "I'll start on Monday. I'll begin next month. I'll do it when I feel ready." But that day rarely comes, because motivation is like the weather. Some days it's bright and clear. Other days, it disappears without warning. Imagine building a house, but only working when the sun is shining. Would that house ever be finished? Of course not. Life works the same way. If you only work when you feel inspired, your progress will always stop and start. The Stoics never trusted motivation. They trusted discipline. Marcus Aurelius never woke up expecting every day to feel easy. He simply reminded himself of his duty. He understood something most people never learn. Feelings are temporary. Principles are permanent. The people who change their lives aren't the ones who always feel motivated. They're the ones who continue, even when they don't. Every successful person you've ever admired has faced days they wanted to quit. The difference is, they didn't let their emotions make the decision. They let their values decide. And that's where real discipline begins. The second lesson is realizing your greatest enemy isn't outside you. Most people think their biggest obstacle is a lack of time, money, opportunity, support. But none of those are the real enemy. The real battle begins the moment you make a promise to yourself. Because almost immediately, another voice appears. Skip today. You'll make up for it tomorrow. You've already worked hard enough. It doesn't shout. It whispers. And that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Imagine carrying a backpack. On the first day, someone places a single stone inside. It feels light. You barely notice it. The next day, another stone, then another. Before long, the weight becomes overwhelming. Excuses work the same way. One excuse feels harmless, but repeated often enough, it becomes a habit, and habits quietly become your identity. The Stoics believed freedom begins when you stop negotiating with your own excuses. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" ask yourself, "Who am I becoming if I keep saying no?" Every decision shapes your future. Every action casts a vote for the person you're becoming. Strong people don't have fewer excuses. They've simply stopped listening to them. The third lesson is winning the small battles no one else sees. People admire success. They celebrate achievements. They notice confidence, but they rarely see what created them. They don't see the mornings you got up when nobody was watching, the workouts you finished when quitting felt easier, the books you read instead of wasting another hour scrolling, the promises you kept, even when no one would have known if you broke them. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. He doesn't strike the metal once and call it complete. He heats it, shapes it, strikes it again and again, hundreds of times. Every strike makes the blade stronger. Discipline is forged the same way, not through one heroic decision, but through hundreds of ordinary ones. Every time you choose action over comfort, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you keep your word, your confidence grows. Every time you do what needs to be done, instead of what feels easy, you become someone who can trust himself. And there's no greater source of confidence then knowing your own mind will never betray you. Because in the end, iron discipline isn't built in moments of comfort. It's built in the quiet decisions that nobody else will ever see. The fourth lesson is learning to choose discipline over feelings. Feelings are powerful, but they're terrible leaders. If you let your emotions decide what you do, your life will always be unpredictable. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days, you won't even recognize your own potential. Imagine you're the captain of a ship. A storm suddenly appears. The waves grow stronger. The wind pushes against you. Would you abandon the wheel simply because the journey became uncomfortable? Of course not. You hold your course. Life demands the same from you. There will always be days when you don't feel like working. You won't feel like training, studying, building, or improving yourself. Those are the days that matter most. Because discipline isn't tested when everything feels easy. It's tested when comfort calls your name, and you choose your purpose instead. The Stoics understood that emotions are temporary visitors. They arrive, they stay for a while, then they leave. But your principles, those should never change. A disciplined person doesn't ask, "How do I feel today?" They ask, "What must be done today?" That simple question can completely change your life. Because every time you choose purpose over comfort, you become a little stronger than you were yesterday. The fifth lesson is becoming the person who never breaks his own word. Think about the people you trust most. Why do you trust them? Because when they give their word, they keep it. Now ask yourself something even more important. Can you trust yourself? When you promise you'll wake up early, do you? When you promise you'll finish the work, do you? When you promise you'll change, do you actually follow through? Every broken promise weakens your relationship with yourself. Not all at once, but little by little, until one day, your own mind stops believing you. Imagine hiring someone who lies every single day. Eventually, you'd stop trusting them completely. Yet many people do exactly that to themselves. They make promises, then they break them, again and again. The Stoics believe that character is built through consistency, not perfection. Consistency, keeping one small promise today, then another tomorrow. Over time, your mind begins to understand something powerful. When I say I'll do something, I do it. That's the moment confidence stops depending on motivation. Because confidence isn't created by success. It's created by self-trust. And self-trust is earned, one promise at a time. The final lesson is realizing that discipline is the highest form of freedom. Most people think discipline takes away freedom. The Stoics believe the exact opposite. Without discipline, you're controlled by your moods, your impulses, your distractions, your cravings. You're not free. You're reacting. Imagine two men. One eats whatever he wants, sleeps whenever he wants, quits whenever things become difficult. At first glance, he looks free, but in reality, he's controlled by every passing emotion. Now imagine another man. He wakes up with purpose. He trains his body. He sharpens his mind. He honors his commitments. Even when nobody is watching, his life may look more demanding, but he's the one who is truly free, because his choices belong to him, not to his emotions. That is what the Stoics meant by freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever feels good, but the freedom to do what is right, regardless of how you feel. And once you experience that kind of freedom, you'll never want to live any other way. 1 year from now, your life will look different. The only question is, different because of your excuses, or different because of your discipline? Every great life is built the same way, not through one extraordinary moment, but through thousands of ordinary decisions, made when nobody else is watching. The alarm you didn't ignore, the workout you almost skipped, the chapter you chose to read, the promise you refused to break. Those moments may seem invisible today, but they are quietly building the person you'll become tomorrow. Remember this. Discipline isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming reliable. Reliable in your actions. Reliable in your habits. Reliable in your word. Because when your mind learns that your word means something, there is very little in this world that can stop you. The Stoics never searched for an easy life. They searched for a stronger self. And perhaps that's exactly what you've been searching for all along. If this message challenged the way you think about discipline, subscribe and continue this journey towards self-mastery, resilience, and inner strength. Each lesson you apply is another step toward becoming someone who doesn't wait for motivation, someone who creates momentum through discipline. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what's one habit you'll commit to building starting today? Because every great transformation begins with one disciplined decision.